Cooking the perfect filet mignon can be a challenge. It's a big, thick piece of meat. It's very lean. It can be overcooked like that. And no one wants to do that with a very expensive cut of meat. Now today, I've got an 8-ounce filet mignon. I'm gonna show you how to cook it perfect every single time. Today with the filet mignon, we're going to do the reverse sear technique. But I'm not gonna do it over here in my large oven. We're gonna do it in the air fryer. Yep, that's right. Using the air fryer, we're going to be able to reverse sear the perfect filet mignon. So to start, let's season it up. You know, basic things that I use on any steak: salt, pepper, garlic powder, that's it. So we just do the pepper here. You want to make sure your steak is really dry, so dry it off with some paper towels before you start seasoning. You don't want to have a lot of moisture on there when you put it in the air fryer because it's going to stew versus, or steam, versus actually cook. Right, we'll pat that around. Other side. Clean our hands real quick. Okay, so let's do this side. Same thing, a big piece of meat. You're going to use a lot of seasoning. Don't feel that you're over seasoning. I'm just using basic fresh cracked pepper, pink sea salt, and garlic powder. Now we're going to do the old meat mop here. Kind of go around the cutting board, make sure we get all of this seasoning up. Get it seasoned on all sides. All right, so reverse searing. How do you do it? Rather than starting on the stove top and then moving it to the oven to finish, with reverse sear, you start in the oven typically, and then you finish on the stove top. Today, like I said, we're going to do it in the air fryer because why not? It's simple. It's it's fairly flawless. It heats up instantly, and we don't have to worry about heating up that. So let's get started here. We're going to start by setting our air fryer at 225 degrees. You want to cook it at a fairly low temperature. So I'm going to go down to about, let's go 210. We'll run our time way up. It's probably going to take it about 20 minutes to get up to temperature. And what temperature do we want it to get up to? Well, we're going to sear it off here before we cook, but we want it to be mostly done. So for a nice medium rare, I like to get about 134, 135, right in that range. So we're going to go to about 132 so that we can bring it up the rest of the way over when we sear it off. So go ahead, I'm going to meat probe it. Very important, expensive piece of meat. You don't want to mess that up. So this is a little wireless meat probe here. We can pop it in. I can watch the temperature on my phone so that we know exactly where we're at. So we'll go ahead and pop it in here and start the air fryer. Now I waited too long, so we're going to set the temperature back down, run the time up to about 20 minutes, and let it go. So in about 20 minutes, we're going to have the perfect filet mignon. All right, so 21 minutes later, and we've got a filet mignon that's cooked to 130 degrees inside, right here in the air fryer. And look at this. It is beautiful. I'm going to pull it out. And we're just going to sear it off, and we're ready to eat. So first thing, let's take the meat probe out. Grab a towel to get that out. It will be hot. Okay. So now, we're just going to come over to the cooktop. We've got a cast iron skillet. That's my favorite method of cooking steak, is in cast iron. We've got about a tablespoon of butter that I've already melted here. Let's bring the skillet up to temperature. And then we're just going to seal the steak off. And you can hear it already starting to sizzle there. So we'll do about a minute and a half on each side, sort of the edges a little bit, just to brown them a little bit, and we'll be ready to eat. All right, so it's been about a minute and a half. We're going to flip it over to the other side. Turn our heat up just a little bit. Didn't get quite as much browning on there as I wanted, but we'll turn it up and hopefully get some good searing on the other side. Flip it back over real quick on that side at the end. Alright, so it's been about a minute and a half on that side. We're going to flip it back over. Look at that nice browning we've got there. Flip it back over on this side. And do a little more. And we'll flip it on the sides here. Do each of the sides. All right, so ready to pull it off. Here we go, the perfect filet mignon. All right, so we've let it rest for about 2 or 3 minutes, and now we're ready to take a look. Let's go. Look at this. Look at this, perfect. No real gray bar there at all, just cooked medium rare all the way through. Delicious. Let's give it a taste. That is so good. Seriously, that is so good. Okay, you know what we have to do now? We have to call Candace in here so she can try some. All right, so Candace, we got some filet mignon here. Let's give it a try. See what you think.
That's so good.
It is amazing. So juicy, perfectly cooked, and reverse seared in the air fryer, 21 minutes, couple of minutes on the stove top to sear it off, and you will have the most amazing filet mignon you've ever had, better than in any restaurant, I promise. So, thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Yeah, I think that is ridiculous to buy steak.